again, and welcome to the Author Roundup. This special segment of the Book Connection Show showcases emerging indie authors who join us for a discussion of their newly published books. Join us for a conversation with our next guest author. Hi there, welcome to Author Roundup. My name is Emma, and I will be your host for today's episode with self-published author Emily Wells. Emily didn't start out to write a book about spirit guides. She actually didn't think spirit guides were real until a few years ago. She began receiving powerful benefits from her spirit guides, such as how to connect with them, their profound wisdom, how to clear her energy field, how to release stuck energy from her body from this lifetime and other lifetimes, how to receive love from other civilizations beyond Earth, and much more. Now she is being led to share this with others. Her book is titled Journeying with My Guides, Hope for the Future. Hi, Emily. How are you today?
I'm great. Thank you.
Yeah. So can you tell us about your book that you recently published?
Well, I've published 2 books, and my first book was Discover Your Unknown Inner Self, which turned out to be a healing process that I had to do before I could even allow the life experiences of my second book. And once these life experiences started happening, I knew this was something that had never happened to me before, and I needed to record it. So I took notes in notebooks and I filled up several notebooks. Then it came to me to put this in a laptop, and I thought, oh my goodness, what's happening? So I started keying this into a laptop, and goodness, I'm glad to share this with other people.
Yeah.
So it's been a remarkable experience for me.
And
Still is.
for listeners who are new to all things spirit guides, how would you describe your book, Journeying with My Guides?
How would I describe my book? Well, let's see. First, I was sitting with some friends reading some dialogues from my first book about my aspects. And one of them said, I keep getting this image of a man standing behind you. And I went, oh, oh my goodness. You mean I really do have spirit guides? I have a spirit guide. Someone actually saw this image beside me, and that just changed my whole life. Wasn't it?
And what made you decide to follow the experiences rather than dismiss them or just think, oh, it's nothing? Like, what made you really follow the experiences that you experienced?
Oh my, that's such a good question. I the results in my life. I was having these incredible dialogues. I was receiving material that I didn't know was out there. I was receiving such helpful things. And when I would follow their suggestions, I only got suggestions. My guides never told me what to do, how to do my life. And I was led to people that already worked with guides. I learned to use a pendulum. And through my pendulum, I was able to connect more directly with my guides and get specific answers, and answers would come. I would get percentage of something I should do or not do, and I get a high percentage. That meant I should do it. Low percentage, I should not do it. And when I got a low percentage and didn't do something once, I found out that that was a good thing. I was a good thing I didn't do follow through on that. So I just over and over got substantiation that this was really happening. And then when I would do releasing of stuck energy processes with my guides, oh my, I could feel it in my body. I could feel energy leaving. I would, I knew when the process was over because all of a sudden my body would relax and feel better. Over and over, I got help with these substantial, concrete change in my physical body because of the work I was doing with my guides.
And how how often do you interact with your guides? Is it on a daily basis, or is it with, every, big decision or small decisions? How does that work for
Good,
you?
good question. Well, I every day, without fail, I clear my energy field. So I connect with my guides and ask them to clear my energy field, which they
Mhm.
do, and I feel better after that. Then I was going once a week. I actually rented a space where I would go and key in. Well, first I was handwriting, then I would key in my dialogues. So I would be connect with my guides and say, who has something to say to me today?
Mhm.
And I would use my pendulum and go down the list of my guides and get yes and no's. And then I would have these dialogues. And even before that, I had to find out who my guides were.
Mhm.
And this, I've explained this in my book, but I used my pendulum to verify when I would hear, what's your name? And I would use my pendulum and just on a little alphabet chart, get the
Mhm.
words. And the letters would come to me or they would just come to me. It all came to me in my mind. So it was
Mhm.
very unusual. And I
Mhm.
didn't grow up this way. I didn't learn this from anybody. It was,
Right.
it
Yeah.
happened.
Yeah, that kind of leads me into my next question. So, how did your understanding of spirit guides begin? And did you know anything of it or really, have any knowledge of it prior to your experiences?
Well, let me go back to that first story, that
Okay.
antidote. I was reading some of my aspect dialogues. These are dialogues I had with aspects of myself to my friends. And
Mm-hmm.
one friend said, I keep getting this image of a man behind you dressed in white shorts, sandals, and a turquoise necklace. Who is he? And I thought, oh my, this is really happening to me. How would she pick this out of the universe? So
Mm-hmm.
that was a beginning for me that
Okay.
I do have guides. And then I started having the conversation with them. I thought spirit guides were the far out thing. I couldn't imagine myself doing this. I'm
Mm-hmm.
a very linear, I'm retired from a community college teacher. I taught medical things my whole life.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
not a woo-woo person at all. So
Mm-hmm.
when this started happening to me, it was a very big shift in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And now I'm talking comfortably about it. But at the beginning, it was so foreign to me and
Mm-hmm.
so out of my realm. My family are very, they would pray to God. That was an unseen. But otherwise, all the rest of the unseen world was not even talked about, not even thought of. So
Mm-hmm.
this was a huge shift for me.
Yeah. And was there a single turning point that convinced you this journey was real and life-changing?
I believe well, just many synchronistic things kept happening in my life. I uh, I believe the woman seeing the friend, I called him Surfer
Surfer
Joe
Joe.
behind me. And Surfer Joe eventually left and was replaced with Ganesh. So Ganesh is now one of my guides, and Ganesh is also a scribe. So Ganesh and Thoth are two of my guides, and they came in to help me write my second book.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it's interesting. My guides have different, some come in to help me heal, some come in to help me speak um, out my truth. Um, that's a whole nother part of my book, was the healing journey of speaking my truth.
Mm-hmm.
And it had not been safe for me in other lifetimes. At least that's the messages I'm getting. So
Mm-hmm.
part of my release work that I do is releasing stuck energy from other lifetimes. I mean, not just this one, but other lifetimes.
Mm-hmm.
I've tried to speak my truth and it's not been so receptive, not been so well received from me.
Mm-hmm. And how do these experiences impact your daily life and relationships and your sense of identity?
Oh my. Um, I've I have a friend who's known me for about 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
And when she sees me, she says, I want to read your book because I see you changing.
Oh,
You've
wow.
changed. And I go, oh, you're just so much more confident. Um, I'm doing things I never thought was possible. I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
this interview. I've just
Mm-hmm.
worked with Balboa Press and published my second book. And I'm really stepping out there and speaking the fact that guides are real, because I think it's important that other people know they have guides and they're
Mm-hmm.
here to help us, but it's not something you learn in school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
True. And so you share step-by-step processes in your book. What was your intention of giving readers useful tools rather than just storytelling?
I started out doing the storytelling part. I started
Okay.
out just cut and pasting all these wonderful dialogues I had with my guides. And a couple of years ago, I got a hunch. So I follow my hunches and I check them out with my pendulum. And I got the hunch to call Alondra, who's a very gifted intuitive. And Alondra said, your guides have a message for you, and that is your book is to be in your words, just like your first book, not just
Mhm.
our words, is to be in your words. Share your life. So I went back and started my second book over again and
Mhm.
shared all of my processes and those I've gained from other people. Just um, some my guides told me.
Mhm.
It's extremely important that excuse me, it's extremely important that the processes were in my book,
Mhm.
because this way people can read my book, follow my processes, and connect safely with their own guides if they
Mhm.
choose to. And I don't have to go around and give workshops and
Mhm.
things like that. I think my book is quite um, self-sustained. I
Mhm.
now have a website, which is another learning experience. And through my website, I posted my first blog about 2 days ago. So
Nice.
I will be able to connect with people. But I think my book is quite, um, the processes are very clear, and I put examples of my processes.
Okay. Nice. And so I'm just curious, and others may be curious too. How do you communicate with your guides? How does that look like when you're communicating with them?
Okay. Cool. All right. Well, first I call, and this is in my book. I have the steps on there. So I connect with the divine, and then I ask, I just go through a little thing. I align my will to the will of God. I connect I do my little connection thing, but all those words are in my book. And
Mhm.
then I say I'd like to connect with my spirit guides, and I name them. And when I name each one, I do a little finger kinesiology, like yes,
Mhm.
Pramathalis, yes, Thoth, yeah, just a little verification like that.
Mhm.
And then I'm ready to go. And
Nice.
then I ask questions, and like to ask, if I can, I ask it in a percentage, like what
Mhm.
is the percentage upside for me to do something or downside for me to do something?
Mhm.
And then I say, I I would do that, and then I would say, do I need to do, are you ready for dialogues? And when I do dialogues, I would get a yes for, let's say, from Amut is one of my guides. Do you have something to share with me today, Amut? And please share. I found I was handwriting it and I found I could key it into the computer and go
Mm-hmm.
much faster that way. So I hear the words inside my head
Mm-hmm.
and they're not words that I would have made up. At first I
Mm-hmm.
thought, no, I must be making this up. No. And then I would read back and go, oh my goodness, I couldn't make that up. So it, it's uh, it's been quite an evolving experience.
I bet. Yeah. And so, what is one process readers can try immediately to begin connecting with their own guides?
Okay, let's see. One they began immediately. I believe I used the book called Letters to Robin, and that's from Walt Woods, who's a very respected dowser, and
Mm-hmm.
he tells exactly how to use the pendulum.
Okay.
So you could get his, and it's free. You can get it online. The whole thing can be downloaded.
Mm-hmm.
And you could also use finger kinesiology, which is explained on the Paralandra website, but it's more of my name is Emily. I get a yes. I'm pushing on this.
Mm-hmm.
Um, my name is Georgie. No, my fingers release. But I think you need some kind of a verification. At least for me, I needed a verification just to
Mm.
sit
Okay.
there and say, okay, guides, talk to me. Some people do it that way.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted some verification that I was really connecting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And so once I'm connected, then I ask questions.
And so you write about in your book clearing non-beneficial energy from this and past lifetimes. What does that process look like and what's that mean to you exactly?
Okay. In the beginning of my early chapters in my book is also written for anybody. So you
Mm-hmm.
can start with the beginning steps up to what I call advanced expanded things.
Mm-hmm.
And the first steps, I started clearing uninvited influences. This is from Roger Lampier and his book called Unified. I got permission from Roger to publish this in my book,
Mm-hmm.
and it's basically clearing. I just announced that I'm clearing uninvited influences from my aura and sending, I don't have the page in front of me right now, but sending them off. They each have a specific place to go, and
Mm-hmm.
I send them there now, and I ask my higher self to please do this.
Mm-hmm.
So you can just ask, you don't even need to have guides to do that. You can start, that's a good starting point. You're
Mm-hmm.
working with your own higher self, and everyone has a higher self.
Okay. And what kinds of changes or like transformations do people commonly experience when they begin this type of energy clearing work?
Oh, let's see. Well, I'm just published my book, so I'm just starting to get feedback from my
Oh,
friends
okay. Uh-huh.
about this. So that's quite new, but
Okay.
I do have I have a comment that I have a review.
Oh,
These are in
yeah.
the process of being posted from
Uh-huh.
one of my friends, if that would be
Yes.
something to read.
Yeah.
My friend says, Emily, I'm thrilled to share my experience from reading your book. I decided to ask my guides about something related to my birth that I had been puzzled over for many years. To my surprise, I heard a clear explanation of what actually happened at my birth. I was thrilled to receive this information.
Okay.
Reading your book has given me a roadmap for interacting with my guides in a whole new level. Thank you. So this is
Wow.
my first review to put,
That's crazy.
and it's being put on my website right now. This is all
Wow.
new for me. So this was another friend substantiating it.
Mm-hmm.
And another friend has told me that she started reading my book, and when she realized that she could connect a little more carefully with her guides, she
Mm-hmm.
was led to develop her light language, which is a new thing for her. And I know another friend who also does light language. So I've got the two of them now connecting. Um, and for me, I could feel the energy releases from my body.
Mm-hmm.
I won't say that all of a sudden I'm miraculously cured of everything I have, but I
Mm-hmm.
am helped. I'm assisted. I'm guided to the right acupuncturist to help me at the right time. And
Mm-hmm.
I would be more guided to the right foods to eat. Spring Forest Qigong came into my life at the right time.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I have support. I feel like I'm not alone.
Mm-hmm.
And this is
Wow.
more concrete than praying to God. I can get concrete things. Our spirit guides are God's helpers.
And how do you think your mind has changed in the sense of maybe like mind over body in a sense? Do you think that is what is going on, or do you think like your thinking and the way that you approach things is just completely different when it comes to thinking and then ultimately like physical things?
Good. It's completely different.
Mm-hmm.
It's completely different. I feel like I'm releasing stuck energy. And when you release stuck non-beneficial energy from
Mm-hmm.
your body can't help but feel better
Yeah, that's
and
amazing.
get better. So I don't think it's just a mind over matter thing.
Yeah.
This is something happening
Mm-hmm.
on the cellular level.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool. And so would you like to share anything from your book, any dialogues from your book with us today?
Yes, I have just a few dialogues.
Okay.
Well, let me just start with Sutar, who said, um, I thought people would want to know how many guides they had.
Mm-hmm.
Sutar says, most humans have 3 to 6 guides. That is a stable number and is sufficient to be of much assistance to each person. Each person has guides who are available to assist them in this life. No true guides will act unless they are asked first. What is not widely known on planet Earth is that guides are here to assist everyone. That's Sutar, and
Wow.
this is from Mott. The Sutar one that's probably 1923. This is Mott. It is possible for humans to be filled with more love and joy than they think is possible. It is possible for humans to live much happier and more fulfilled lives. Please continue to study and transform your body's energy, for this will serve you well. Your body is a marvelous living form. And then I heard this from Raljam, and both of these were back in 2015.
Okay.
Raljam said, the human body is ready for transformation. It is yearning for transformation. It so wishes to be more and more of that which it is capable. Please continue in all that you are led to practice. No path is complete at this time. It is important to combine modalities at present. And Amut said this, again, this was in 2015. We wish to communicate with planet Earth at this time. There is so much fear we would like to see alleviated. With a connection to the unseen world and the assurance there is no death, much fear will dissipate from your earthly thinking. This fear blocks much of the love that is being sent to planet Earth at this time. And we are taking all opportunities to help bathe the planet in love. And this is from Mahara from 2023.
Mm-hmm.
The Earth, I had asked about what's happening on the planet, and Maharaj says, the Earth is slowly being brought into a balance of karma. That is why things are so tumultuous at this time. With the balance of karma, things will be very different on the planet. There is nothing to fear. This is all for the highest good. Relax and let love flow through your body and in your life. Love dispels fear.
That's amazing. That's so
Mm.
cool. So how do you think it would feel to um, have these experiences when you were younger? Or have you ever thought about, if these spirit guides came to you when you were younger versus, later in your life?
I had briefly thought about that, and that isn't the way my life showed up to be.
Yeah.
So there's nothing I can do about that now.
Yeah.
It would have been, I did teach, I was a teacher,
Mm-hmm.
so I might have done more, uh, I don't know, teaching. I just feel passionate now about sharing these messages like I
Mm-hmm.
shouldn't, this is not meant for me. This is meant for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like it's a life path of mine.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting that it didn't show up before. I was
Mm-hmm.
so busy working. I very
Yeah.
focused. I
Yeah. Yeah, like you said, the guides won't communicate with you until they're asked type situation. So you don't know that they're there until you ask or understand.
correct.
Yeah.
This is
Okay.
this is part of the law of universal free will. So they won't push into your life. You
Mm-hmm.
might get nudges and hunches. And if I got hunches to try and do spirit guides before, I was oblivious. I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Although I've always been interested in the paranormal. Even when I was a
Oh,
little
wow.
girl,
Okay.
I believed in reincarnation from the time I
Mm-hmm.
was very young. Um, kind of a knowing.
Yeah, okay. And so you've written a book before, but when did you start writing this book?
Well, actually, you see, I have all the experiences and I make my notes in my book. Then I
Mm-hmm.
was keying these into the computer.
Mm-hmm.
Then my guide said things like, you might want to consider sharing this with others in the form of a book.
Uh-huh.
So that specific thing started. I started having the experiences that I was writing down in 2012.
Okay.
I published my first book in 2019 and my this book, but they corresponded at the same time because I was having, as soon as I started dialoguing with my aspects, that went on for about a year and a
Mm-hmm.
half. And then I was reading those aspect dialogues when the guide
Okay.
showed up, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
And I did some other processes like PSI, psychospiritual integration. I had a guide as part of that, and Elise was her name. Elise would put her hands on my shoulder and help me with parts of that. But as soon as I finished that process, I never thought about Elise again.
Okay.
So then I was very curious about the whole spirit guide thing. And I was led to Sonia Choquette. I went to several of her workshops.
And so how long did it take you to finish your guide and your how-to guide, this book?
I just published it. The first copies came out
Mm-hmm.
this summer, so a few months ago. And it's been, I guess you'd say it seems like a long time, but
Mm-hmm.
everything just had to happen a step at a time.
Yeah. Yeah. How did it feel receiving it in the mail for the first time since it was, a long process?
It was terribly exciting. When I
Mm-hmm.
saw the first cover, and I'd seen the picture on the computer, and I just loved the first cover of it. This is my first one. I
Oh,
mean, this is
lovely.
my second book,
Uh-huh.
Discover Your Guides.
That's
And here's all
amazing.
my tabs of important things that I read to people. But
Nice.
that's a gorgeous cover.
It
That's just
is, yeah.
absolutely beautiful. And this is my first book, Discover Your Unknown Inner Self, and that's a
Okay.
photo that I took. It was
Oh,
meant to be a
nice.
light at the end of the tunnel kind of thing.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Nice. That's really
but
cool.
I like both covers. And the my second book though is got all my processes in it.
Okay.
And my first book I needed to do because it was my healing process for me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And so, what was your writing experience like writing these books and guides? How did that look like for you writing it down?
Well, that's another little. So that was my 1 day a week. I would go off
Mm-hmm.
and I rented a space, and that different spaces showed up in my life, but mostly they were stable for quite a while. And then I would have
Mm-hmm.
to move to a new spot, and I would do some clearing of my energy. Then I would do some release work. If I what I was led to do, I would use the pendulum and say, okay, what's first? What are my priorities? And this priority would happen. Then I would do my um, actual dialogues with my guides.
Mm-hmm.
And I found that I really needed some time alone to do this. So I actually rented a cabin at Silver Falls State Park. I live in Oregon. And the little cabin was at a state park. And I would go there and spend 2 or 3 nights and just dive into this. I would
Mm-hmm.
do processes. Um, I had chakra candles outside the cabin. You weren't allowed inside to burn things. So I had my chakra candles
And
outside.
outside. Mm-hmm.
And I would just experimenting with all kinds of otherworldly things.
Mm-hmm.
Otherworldly. To me, they were all otherworldly at that time.
Mm-hmm. And so, is there a part of your book that is the most memorable to you to write?
Well, I'm being led to just say that this was one of my release processes. This is an example of a release process.
Is it like an instant release?
Well, this probably took me at least 20 minutes to go through this, but that's
Mm-hmm.
pretty instant. I feel,
Wow.
I mean, I'm crying through much of this
I bet. Yeah.
because and of course it's not happening right now because I'm
Mm-hmm.
not doing the real process. But yes, I would say it was instant release because I feel the energy going, and then I feel when I calm down and I get to that space and I use my pendulum and say how much, the scale of 0 to 100, how much is it left to release? And I get 0. Well, I check every so often and I might get 50% left, 20% left, 10% left, and now 0. And I feel it in my body and I verify it with my
Mm-hmm.
pen.
Is there a certain time of day that you feel best doing these type of experiences, or are you just called upon to do it, whenever you feel that you need to?
Wow, I don't have a time of day
Uh-huh.
because I do these more when I have time to do it.
Okay.
So it would be on my Mondays when I go off.
Okay.
And I never know how much noise I'm going to make with this. So it's nice to be, I'm
Oh.
crying. This is big
Yeah.
time releases are happening. And I've been led to a little place I call my tiny house. And this is where I go. Um, it was rented. I rent this little space,
Mm-hmm.
and it's not a real tiny house. It's a writer's studio, and she
Mm-hmm.
wasn't using it. So she rented it out to me, and I
Nice.
would go over and use the studio, the little
Mm-hmm.
writer's studio.
Mm-hmm.
So that was appropriate,
Wow.
and I would release. And then I would do my big releases at the Silver Falls State Park.
Mm-hmm.
And I still many of them at the tiny house.
Mm-hmm. Wow, that's so cool. Did you have a challenging part of your writing process or writing this book at
I,
all?
be- well, the challenging part I alluded to, and that was when I got the direction to connect with Alondra. And I went,
Mm-hmm.
oh, when I connect with Alondra, it's life-changing. Something's going on here. And that was when I got the message that this was not just about me clipping in the dialogues.
Yeah.
I was, I clear up to chapter 7 and I had all these great dialogues.
Mm-hmm.
I was going to publish my second book. And then I have to put my story in there. So that was a challenge, but I'd been keeping notes because I go every Monday to work
Mm-hmm.
on all these processes. I mean, this is something that I'd never done before in my life. I knew it was important. I knew I had to keep notes about it.
Yeah.
So no particular time of day, but more the space to
Yeah.
do it
Yeah.
in.
Okay. And so what advice would you give to a writer working on their own first book?
Okay. Get to know your guides. Get to know your guides. That would be my advice.
Mm-hmm.
Um, those were the first words that came to me.
Mm-hmm.
Get to know your guides. Um, and again, they've told me over and over, we're not here to run your life for you.
Mm-hmm.
Listen to hunches. If you get a hunch to do something, check it out. That
Mm-hmm.
might be a message from your higher self. Oh, another thing is my dreams. Oh my goodness. Um,
Oh,
my
really?
dreams were very powerful. They still are powerful dreams. And I jotted down just during the night, I scribbled notes so that I remember my dream in the morning. And I've included many of my dreams. I've had healing through my dreams
Mm-hmm.
as well. And in Roger Lampier's book, Unified, he tells how to ask your higher self for dream interpretations.
Mm.
So
Cool.
anyone can ask their higher self for a dream interpretation.
Mm-hmm.
That's, you don't need guides. So I've tried to include things in my book that you don't even have to work with guides on to
Okay.
do these processes.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's cool. I like that aspect. For someone curious but unsure, where is the best place you would say to start when connecting to their guides?
Well, you can do the different releases, which is from Roger Lampier, but I I read other books about people who work with their guides, but
Mm-hmm.
Sonia Choquette is the one who really works with her guides, and she
Mm-hmm.
taught me. But the processes I'm using are from um, my experience and from the different energy healers I've connected with and what I'm actually doing.
Mm-hmm.
So exploring your own guides with confidence, I think you need to
Mm.
just practice and try
Yeah.
it out
Mm-hmm.
and know that everyone does have guides. Another book that was helpful for me is Michael Newton's books, Journey of Souls
Mm-hmm.
and Destiny of Souls, because my guides have confirmed that they're the same kind of guides that work on the other side. After we leave our physical body, we have guides, and
Mm-hmm.
Michael Newton connected with those guides. But
Okay.
those
Cool.
guides also work with us when we're in physical body.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that brand new person would try out one of my processes is the very first one is releasing trauma release, just a quick
Mm-hmm.
trauma release. You don't need to connect with guides to do that. You can follow this process, and that's tapping and releasing trauma of something that happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll go, oh, maybe some of this unseen, maybe some of these processes really work.
Mm-hmm.
And then you'll be brave enough to talk to your guides.
Yeah.
Um, they do want to help, and guides come and go as you change. My
Okay.
guides have changed and shifted, and I've asked them not to change until I get this second book all done. So right now, they've been stable for about 4 years.
Oh, okay.
But before that, they did change and shifted, and um, Surfer Joe's goal was to help me lighten up.
Oh,
Some of them were here to help me lighten up. I was too
yeah.
heavy, and
Yeah.
that's true.
Yeah.
That was very true.
What advice would you give to someone who feels something extraordinary happening in their life for the first time but don't know how to interpret it? Like maybe what would you say to yourself who, started feeling these things happening in life? What would you say to them?
Two things: talk to a friend about it, talk to your
Oh,
higher self.
hmm.
Try and get some, ask your higher self. And I did go to Sonia's workshops to learn about guides, um, read books about guides,
Hmm.
and um, see what happens. See
Hmm.
what happens. My friend who had the experience with her that I shared the first review, she knew she had guides. She had worked with guides before. She'd never
Hmm.
used the pendulum, however. And she was so amazed to see the pendulum working and moving, and she wasn't moving her hand. It was
Yeah.
um, that still amazes me.
Wow. Yeah,
I
that
have
is.
not used the pendulum until just recently.
Okay.
So, but it's good concrete verification,
Hmm.
and that
Yeah.
is extremely helpful. So that would be another hint to,
Yeah.
but don't just start using the pendulum randomly. Follow Walt Wood's direction in his book, Letters to Robin. Letter to Robin, I believe it is.
Okay. And so what's next for you? What are you exploring now or working on? Do you have anything you're working on now after this book or anything personal you want to do goals wise?
I'm I'm doing this website. Oh
Oh,
my
okay.
goodness.
Nice.
This is a whole new thing now for
The
me and my
blogging,
website.
yeah, that'll be fun.
Blogging, yes. This
Yeah.
is a whole new thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many learning experiences, one after the other.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
That's how I see myself doing things,
Mm-hmm.
connecting. I have several reviews from people. I'm hoping to get more and more reviews and connecting like that. I don't really see myself flying all around the world giving workshops.
Mm-hmm.
Not at my age. Um, it's
You can do the same
I'm
thing
not
behind a computer.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I'm not drawn to do that right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but connecting with my friends and having conversations about guides and my books, and now that I've stepped out there and said, okay, this is what I'm doing, people are popping up and going, I've had experience. I want to talk to you sometime. Let's have lunch,
Oh,
you
that's
know.
cool. Yeah.
So this sort of one-on-one
Mm-hmm.
has been I think that's more where it's going to go. And with my website and developing blogs,
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like I'm led to write another book. But I will keep, who knows what I will get from messages, but I can
Mm-hmm.
put them on the computer. I don't have
Oh,
to write another book.
yeah, right. Yeah.
And I will always be connecting with my guides.
Yeah.
I won't finish journeying ever.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, thank you so much, Emily. Is there anything else that you wish to share with us or mention today?
I think that my main message was it's a how-to book.
Okay.
Will give you steps and how to do, and you can start at the very beginning and then you can do as much as you're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
And a friend of mine who is reading my book said, it's very thought-provoking. I'm taking it a little bit at a time because it's very thought-provoking.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Yeah. How does that feel having someone say that your writing is thought provoking? How does that make you feel?
Oh my goodness, that's such a validation for me.
Yeah, I
It's a
bet.
huge validation. And I realize that I do want people to benefit from my book, and it's just heartwarming.
I
It's
bet. Yeah.
heartwarming, and I've had several, um, other friends have coming up to me going, I want to talk to you. I've been doing some of this stuff too. And so uh, it's growing.
Very cool. Well, would you like to mention your website too before we go as well?
Yes, now the new website is www.journeyingwithmyguides.com. So very very simple. I did have to learn how to spell journeying, but it's not a journey that's over. It's a journeying, it's a process, it's still happening.
I like that.
So the word needed to be journeying with
Mm-hmm.
my guides.
Great. All right. Well, thank you so much, Emily, for the great interview and a wonderful topic of reading. And we wish you the best of luck and thank you for sharing your thoughts in your book today.
Thank you. Thank you, Emma. Thanks for
Of course.
making this an just enjoyable experience for
Oh,
me.
thank you. Yeah, it was great. And I'm glad I could do that for you. Your book is really interesting, and I'm sure a lot of people, don't really know much about spirit guides, and I think you have made a lot of people curious about it. And so I hope they go out and grab your book today.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And you can grab Emily's book at balboapress.com. You can purchase it through the online bookstore. Or if you prefer Amazon or Barnes& and Noble, you can purchase it there. And thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you next time.